Hey y'all, I have a fun video today, a conversation with my non-binary kiddo Maddie, who is 19 and a freshman in college. Y'all enjoy.
Okay, I am here today with the one and only Maddie Giles, who is joining us from Worcester. Am I saying that right?
No one says it like that.
Oh, okay, Massachusetts. It's
Just
outside of Boston.
Worcester.
Worcester, okay. It's about an hour outside Boston at Clark University. And I just wanted to pick Maddie's brain today. So, and I'm in Houston and they're up there. So we were talking earlier today about Transgender Day of Visibility. I thought it was really cool that your school had like a thing. Tell me what they did for the day.
So it wasn't technically like a school run thing.
Oh, okay.
It was the RA on, I think he's on the second floor. He was like he's in Prism, which is the basically equivalent to like the GSA on campus. It's like the LGBTQ club. And so they worked with Prism to put together a little event. It wasn't very big. It was just like a table outside our dorm that had like pins. There had different pronoun pins, which was hilarious because the they them pins ran out by the time I got there because there's just too many of us. And they had like stickers and there was like little photo booths with like flags. I think there was like music. And like it also happened to be the day where they do like in the quad in front of the main building. On Wednesdays they do like student run like businesses kind of thing. And so there's a couple people who are selling their like, I think there was someone who was selling like knitted flags. And it was like all other stuff. And so
like would you wear like a knitted flag, like a brooch or something? Or
I
like
think it was more like kind of like a shawl kind of thing. Like it wasn't like small. It was like
okay.
It was cool.
And
like I ran around with my trans friends and just was trans invisible. Yeah.
Well, why is that important? We were talking about why is visibility important?
So it's an interesting conversation because there's a lot of people who are like, we don't need to be visible. We need to be active and getting the like legislation and stuff that we deserve. But also visibility is that important first step of like recognizing us as people and not just like people you can shove under the rug. We need to be visible in order for change to happen. And it's also just nice to like know that there's one day where I'm safe. Like not that I'm not safe on other days, because I'm lucky in that regard to be at an accepting school. But it was also just nice to have that community so present, because sometimes it does, even though most of my friends are trans or queer in some way, it sometimes just you feel alone a lot sometimes in a cis het world.
And what is for those who may not know?
Those are cisgender heterosexual. Okay. And so we shorten it to cis het.
I know I've heard you and Indy say that in our house.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing. It's just a way to shorten it so it's not cisgender heterosexual. It's a long word.
Got it.
And so it's nice to just be trans with friends and celebrate that about that aspect of ourselves. Not that we don't do that every day, but it's nice to have a day recognized for us.
For like a celebration.
Yeah, it was just a celebration of who we are. Because it is a big part of most of our identities. Yeah.
Well, speaking of identity, I know you have told me that you are non-binary. Can you tell me what that means for you? Because I know that can be a little bit different for a lot of people who identify as not non-binary. What does that mean for you?
It's a bit difficult to explain because I'm still figuring out myself. Gender is a journey. It's a spectrum. Yeah. And I'm kind of moving up and down the spectrum all the time. Okay. Like currently I'm using all pronouns. I'm not sure if I told you that yet.
No, okay, this is new.
But I am currently in a stage where I just don't feel connected to like any part of gender. And I like being able to like pick and choose different parts of it. Like today I'm presenting a little bit more feminine.
Okay.
Because I wanted to wear makeup today.
Mhm.
But sometimes I don't. But I don't know. It's a weird spectrum that just
Yeah.
it changes every day.
Is
Which is
that,
so not the
sorry, go ahead. Is that what some people may call agender, if you're not feeling connected to any gender, or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like the term non-binary because I just like feeling outside of the box. And it's also more like an umbrella term.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And because like I think I'm not super well versed in all the terminology, as I'm still learning lots of things myself. Everyone's always learning.
Websites.
And I'm mostly like hearing things from word of mouth and stuff. But it's kind of like trans is the huge umbrella. There's the non-binary umbrella, and there's things underneath it. And I just like using the term non-binary because that's the one that fits me the most, because I'm not in the binary. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to explain.
It does. It's almost, and I didn't think about that, but I guess that makes sense that non-binary is its own kind of umbrella. So would gender fluid be under non-binary also? Well, I guess it depends. It depends on people's own definition of.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the beautiful thing about being trans and being non-binary, is that, and although it may be confusing for people who are cisgender, it's a little bit up to whoever is identifying, right? So the definition changes a little bit depending on who the person is. And so some people who are agender may identify with the non-binary label or may not. Like the same way as like some non-binary people don't ID as trans. But most, from my understanding, most do. Like I do, but not all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
And like in a similar vein, like I have friends who use different pronouns but still identify as cis, and maybe don't even identify as non-binary, because pronouns don't equal gender.
Say that again.
Pronouns don't equal gender.
Okay. All right.
And most of the time it's a good indicator.
Okay.
But not all the time.
Okay. So you could use maybe like she, her pronouns, but that might not reflect your gender.
Yeah. And so like there are
vice versa.
Like there are non-binary people who may only use the pronouns that they like were assigned at birth, or the gender they're like that are associated with the gender they ID'd at birth. Yes.
Okay.
And or some they may just use like the opposite. Or me, who doesn't care, could use any.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Okay. Oh, that's good. Thank you. That's something I didn't think about. See, I'm always learning. Thank you for being a willing teacher. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Okay, we were talking earlier today, and I want to hear your thoughts about this, about the legal stuff and the legislation. And you were getting all worked up, and I wanted to hear your thoughts about it, because it's a big deal. It's really crappy that this is going on all over the country. And as you know, it's going on in Texas. I don't know what the Massachusetts landscape.
It's a little bit better here.
I would imagine so. But for sure for Texas and so many other states around. So what are you and your friends talking about, or what's in your brain about that?
It's mostly just making me angry for the kids who are going to be affected by this, because it's in the same boat as like abortion. Like you can criminalize it, but it's not going to stop it. And so for like the bill in Alabama where they're making it a federal crime for children to transition, or even go on like puberty blockers or whatever. And
it's
like
already a law in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, it's going around to different states too, for sure.
Yeah, and so
it's one to watch.
There's going to be countless kids who are going to be so negatively affected by this. And it just hurts that I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I can advocate and I can sign petitions and I can vote, but I can only do so much as a 19-year-old kid, college student.
I think you would be surprised, though. I think if we weren't in COVID, it would be a lot easier to like mobilize and especially college campuses. That's like like this hotbed of activism, and I'm hoping that'll get better next year.
And
Yeah.
speaking of like the on college campuses thing, it's a little bit weird because I think a lot of people being in a different place where most of these bills are going into place is a little bit strange, because I feel like there's not a lot of people talking about it, aside from my like trans circles, right? Because obviously we all know about it. So, but it's only us talking about it, from what I can see, because it's not affecting the people up here. So it's weird being someone from Texas, seeing all the stuff going down and like in the states adjacent to Texas. And so I'm hoping that maybe PRISM, the group I was talking about earlier, might organize something, and if not, I might reach out to them, because it's a big deal. We're moving so many steps backwards, and it's 2021. That shouldn't be happening. So
well, that would be awesome. I could see you being a campus leader in that respect, because you're just an all-around badass. Something that I learned recently is you don't have to live in a state to contact state senators or representatives or governors. Like I wrote an email to the Arkansas governor.
I saw that post on Facebook.
Asking not to sign that bill into law. I mean, I think it makes a difference. Like I didn't say I was from Texas, but I was still a voice. And then like for Texas, because I mean, you're a legal resident of Texas, so you can still, even remotely, do video testimony or written testimony. So that's something that maybe your friends could do up there, even though, like you said, it doesn't really affect like Massachusetts or maybe as a whole, but you can do that all around the country. So I'm seeing this, a fun project for you, Matt. That'll be good. All right. Well, I think those are all the questions I wanted to or had for you today. And just, I know we were talking about some fun things this morning, and I wanted to get your thoughts. And I know a lot of people would be interested in to hear what the youth, the young adults are saying these days. So that's it. So have a happy Easter. And
you too. Thanks for talking to me.
And I'll talk to you later, sweetie.
Okay.
Love you.
Bye.
I enjoyed that fun conversation. Maddie always has really insightful things to say. If you liked this video and you want to make sure you don't miss any more, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, love and support your kids. All right, y'all, till next time. Bye.